For our next chemo cap, this is a crochet basket weave pattern. It's going to use front and back post double crochets, and the pattern can be found on Knots of Love, and it's called Basketweave Cap. The pattern says to use an I hook for the main part of the body and a G hook for finishing. I made this hat all with the G hook and it still came out pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you started. So it tells us first that we are going to chain 4. So we're going to put a slip knot on our hook, and then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to join with a slip stitch to make a ring. Okay, and then if you kind of pull the ring apart, you'll see that there's a circle in the middle. That's the circle that we're going to go to. So it wants us to chain 3, and this counts as a double crochet. Okay, it counts as a double crochet. And then we are going to do 11 more double crochets into the ring. Now if you lay your tail over and then kind of crochet over the tail, it lets you pull that little loop tight at the end in case you have a bit of a hole. Okay, so we're going to work 11. This is 2, 3, 4, 6, and I still make sure that I'm crocheting over my tail. And the tail is just laid on top of that work. So as I grab my yarn, it goes around it. 8. Okay, so I'm just going to count to make sure we have 11, and for this pattern the first chain counts. So we got 1, I think I've got, oh yeah, and with that one makes 12. Okay, so we are going to join with a slip stitch into the top of our chain 3. And then you'll see how there is a little hole there, and you'll notice that if I pull my tail, the hole closes up. Okay, so row 2, we're going to chain 3 again, and that says it does count as a double crochet. And then it says we're going to double crochet in the space between the stitches. So this guy counts as 1. So if we kind of wiggle them apart, we're going to go into this hole between them for a double crochet. And then the next stitch says it goes into the stitch. So it goes up here. The next one we're going to go into the space again. So you kind of wiggle them apart and go into the space. Then we work into the stitch. Okay, and the next one's a space. And then we go into the stitch. And it kind of makes it have a nice star pattern on it. You'll see when we're done, but it looks quite nice on the top. And it also gives you a little bit more of a dense fabric, since we're working into the stitch and then in the space between the stitch. Okay, and this is really the only row where they tell you to do this. All the others go in stitches or round stitches. So again, we're going into the space between the stitches, and then we go into the stitch, and again you're working through both loops unless the pattern specifically tells you to go in through a front loop or a back loop. You go into both loops. So now we're where we join. and it says to join with a FPSS. That means a front post slip stitch. And if you'll see, the post parts are the long part of your stitches, okay, not the top part that you go into, but these long guys. So what they want you to do is they want you to insert your hook from the back to the front across the chain, grab the yarn and bring it through for a slip stitch. Okay, and then row 3. Okay, so we're going to chain 2, and this does not count as a stitch. Okay, so we don't count that at all. And then we're going to do an FPDC in the joining double crochet. So that is a front post double crochet. And the way we do it is we're going to go around this post. So we yarn over, and then we insert the needle, the hook, behind the stitch from the right side to the left side, so that the post is above our hook. Grab our yarn, bring it through, and then complete our double crochet like normal. Okay? And then it says to do 2 doubles in the next stitch. So we do 1 and 2, and then it says to do another front post double. So we pull our stitches apart a little bit, we yarn over, we insert the hook behind the stitch, and then we go through. Now, you may be thinking, if it's a front post double crochet, why do we insert the hook behind the stitch? It's because the front lies on the front of our stitch. If we were to go into the back, where we start from the back and go around, you'll see that this is behind. Okay, see, this guy's in front, this guy is behind. We will be doing a back post, but not yet. Okay, so this round you're going to do that all the way across. So you're going to do a front post in 1, 2 in the next one, all the way around. The next row we're going to do half doubles. Now a half double is where you yarn over, go in, pull up a loop. So there's 3 loops on the hook like with a double crochet, but we yarn over and go through all 3 loops at once. Okay, so round 4 you're just going to do a half double in one stitch, 2 halves in the next, and then you're going to do a half double in 2 stitches, then 2 half doubles, and you just go around, you join with a slip stitch. Okay, round 3 we go back to double crochets, and you want to increase evenly. So it's telling you that you're going to double crochet in 3 stitches and then put 2 in the next stitch. Okay, and then it says to join with a front post double crochet. So I'll show you what they mean by that. Okay, so this, you'll see I made my little star pattern in the front. I have 1 row of half doubles, and I've completed the row of the double crochets. So I'm going to take this out just so I can show you how I joined. Okay, so we go here, and then they tell you that they want you to join row 5 with a front post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go around, go through, and then that is our joining. Okay, so you see it kind of ups a little bit. Then what they tell you to do for round 6, okay, we're going to chain 2, and then it says it does not count as a stitch. We're going to work a front post double in the first 4 stitches. So we go around for 1, and then around for the next 2, 3, and 4. Then it tells you to do 2 doubles in the next stitch. Now, for the rest of the pattern, it's basically going to be 4 doubles in the front and then 4 in the back. But these two, okay, and I don't know why they did it this way, but these two are always going to be a little off. So you're always going to start your rows for the remaining of the cap with 4 and then 2, and then it goes back to 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. I don't know why they did it this way exactly, but that's how it worked out. So we did our 4 in the front, and then we did 2 here. And now it tells you that we are going to establish a pattern of 4 front post double crochets and then 4 double crochets. And they want you to increase in every 5th stitch, whether it's a post or a double crochet. So that means that we're going to count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now since the 5th stitch is going to be a double crochet, not a front post, we're going to do 2 in the next one. Okay, so we do 1, 2 in the same spot, okay, and then we go 3 and 4, and now we're up to 5. So 5 is going to be back to our front posts. So basically what we're doing is 4 and 4, but every 5th stitch we have to increase. So we're going to do 2 front posts around this guy. So we did 1, and we go back around him again for a 2. And then we need 4 of front posts. So we're going to do 2 more. 3 and 4. And since we've done a 4th one, now we go back to increasing, because 5 is an increase. So we do 2 doubles in the same one. This is the only row that is this confusing, I promise. Okay, and now we do 3 and 4. So now the 5th one, we're back to our post. Now you can see that this guy, if you don't know where to go exactly, this guy is stacked on top of this one. So we're going to go into the next one. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do 2 in this one. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're back to the 5th stitch, so we do 2 in this one. 1, 2. Okay, and you're gonna keep going like this. It's a little weird. I don't know why they keep having you do that, but I guess it was a way so that you could figure out where the increases were. So we have 2 doubles, we need 2 more. 3, 4, and then this is the 5th one, so we're going to do 2 front posts around this guy for 2 more. So this is 3, this is 4. Now we go back to, this is the 5th one, so we do 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, it's the 5th one, so we're going to do 2 around here. 1, 2, and then we got 3 and 4. So we're just going to keep doing that. Okay, keep doing our 4s. Okay, and now I'm up to 5. So, and again, you try and find this guy's on top of this guy, so we go in the next one. for 2. 3. And 4. This one's a 5, so we do 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we've got another 5, so this guy goes in over here. 1, 2 in the same spot. 3, 4, and then it's a 5, so we do 2, and we're almost to the end of the row. Okay, the next one's a 5, so we're going to do 2 here. And then a 5 again, so 2 in here. Another 5. So we do 2. Okay, and we're almost up to the end. So this should be 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're at the end of our row. Okay, so we're just gonna double check. Okay, and it says to join with a front post slip stitch. So again, we're going to go into the hole, grab it, and then pull it back. Okay, and then that was one very confusing round, but the rest are not so confusing. The only thing that you have to remember, okay, everything is 4 except for this first little 2. And it stays that way for the whole entire hat. I don't know why, but it does. So for row 7, we're going to chain 2. And then it says work a front post double in each front post double and a double crochet around each double. Okay, so that we know how to do. Okay, we know how to do, you see it lays on top, so we're going to do a front post around each one. And then when it's just normal 2, we're going to go over here. So it normally will be 4 front posts, then 2 double crochets, and then 4 front, 4 back, 4 doubles, 4 front, 4 doubles, 4 front, 4 doubles, all the way around. Okay, I'm going to show you row 8 because it'll take me too long to crochet the whole thing. So we're going to skip over row 7. You're going to do row 7 at home. So row 8, it says work a back post double BPDC in each front, and then work a front in each double crochet. And then it says read as front double crochet in subsequent rounds, because they want you to repeat rows 8 to 11. So these guys are my fronts, so I'm going to work a back in them. And the way that you work the back is, instead of going this way, we're going to come from the back of the fabric, go around. Okay, so we go in front of them. So when you look, your hook, okay, the post is actually behind your hook. We grab the yarn, bring it through, and then we finish our double crochet. So again, we go from the back, and then we pull, and we do our double crochet, and then we go again, and then we've got one more. So again, we wrap our yarn around, the hook goes from the back of the work Okay, from the back of the work and then back to the back. So it goes from, we wrap around, it goes from the back to the front and then back, and then we do our doubles. Okay, then we've got this row, we've got doubles, so we're going to do a front around the double. So we go in our front post. This one is just our 2. Okay, the rest are going to be 4 and 4. So then the next row, you're going to do a back again. So we do our back, and then after we do 4 backs, we do 4 fronts. So the pattern repeat, what you're doing is you're working 2 rows where you do front posts, and then 2 rows where you do back posts. So row 9, okay, row 7 we did front posts and doubles. Row 8 we do a back post in a front and a front post in a double. Okay, and then row 9, it's a little bit of a typo. It should say, okay, let me bring it over here so we can see. Okay, so it should say, and I will fix that on this one, work a back post in each back post, and then a front post in each front post. Okay, and then we do, okay, so this one for row 8 is what we're repeating. Okay, so row 8 we're working a back post in a front post and a front post in a back post. Then row 9 we're going to work a back post in a back post and a front post in a front post. Row 10, okay, we're going to work a, and then this is the typo again, a front post in a front post and a back post in a back post. Okay, so you get 2 rows of each. Okay, so you'll see that our pattern is 2 rows, and then these 2 lines count as your back posts. The front ones you'll see kind of go forward, and then these 2 lines equal your back post. So you're just going to continue doing that, and you're going to repeat rows 8 through 11 until your hat measures 7.5 inches from the center, okay, from the center up top all the way down to our edge. And then you're going to work 2 rounds of single crochet, and that gives you a little bit of a border. So that is our basket weave crochet hat.